Hello friends, welcome to the 110th session of Hybris tutorial series on Hybris Tube. Guys, in today's session, we are going to explore one of the most powerful and flexible features of SAP Hybris development, which is hooks concept. So this video is a complete masterclass on the hooks topic, and if you watch it end to end, you will walk away with solid understanding of how hooks work and what are the different ways of implementation of hooks. You will also see the clear differences between the hooks, interceptors, and filters. You will also see the real world implementation of hooks concept with hands on examples as well. You will have the confidence to apply the hooks concept in Hybris project once you will watch the complete video. So this is an extensive detailed video on hooks concept in SAP Hybris, and if you watch this video fully till the end, you will have the complete understanding of hooks concept in SAP Hybris, and you will be able to implement this functionality in your project work also. So, what are the topics we are going to cover in this video? We will start this video with a demo of hooks concept with the real implementation demo. So, I will show you how the hooks concept is currently being used in the out of box flow. Then we will define what a hook is in SAP Hybris, why it exists, what is the use of hooks concept. Then also, guys, we will see or we will have an understanding of hooks with the architectural diagram, and I will show you some of the practical examples as well where we are using the hooks concept. We will also have a glimpse of OTB hooks provided by the Hybris. There I will present you list of hooks which are given by the Hybris in out of box code, and then guys we will see the advantages of using the hooks. Finally, we will also see the differences between the hooks, interceptors, and filters. In the last part of this video, guys, we will do end-to-end implementation of the hooks concept. So we will follow two approaches, or we will do two type of implementation. In the first implementation, guys, I will be injecting a custom created hook in an existing flow dynamically. So I will be using the out of box add to cart flow. Firstly, I will show you how the add to cart flow is working, right, and how the out of box hooks are already integrated into this out of box add to cart flow. And then, guys, we will be creating altogether a new custom hook, and we will integrate that newly custom created hook into the existing add to cart flow. So I will show you end to end implementation of this. Then, guys, we will create a new flow from the scratch, and we will be injecting the multiple custom hooks. And once you will go through this second customization, then you will have a complete understanding of hooks, what are hooks, right, and how to create a new hook from the scratch, and most importantly, why we use the hooks concept in SAP Hybris. Once you watch this video fully, you will have an understanding of different concepts of the hooks. For example, you will know what is the definition of hooks, what is the use of hooks, what is static hook, what is dynamic hook, what is the differences between hooks, interceptors, and filters, right? And then we will also see what are OB hooks and how to create a custom new hook from scratch. So let's start with the first part, which is demo of hooks concept in SAP Hybris. If I go to my browser, and you can see this is the B2C accelerator storefront I have opened. Why I am able to open this B2C accelerator storefront? Because I have done the setup of B2C accelerator in my local computer. If you also want to do this setup, and if you also want to have this software in your local setup or in local local computer, you can watch my video by clicking on the link which is given in the description box, as well as on the top right corner in the card section. And you can also download this software by clicking on the link which is given in the comment section of this video, and you can install this setup in your local computer also. But since I already have this setup, that is why I am able to open this storefront. Now guys, if I go to my IntelliJ editor, you can see this is my IntelliJ editor, and I have already enabled the debug, right? If I go to the PDP page of any product, so you can see I'm clicking on any of the product and I will be going into the PDP page. Post that, I will be clicking on the add to cart button. As soon as I will click on the add to cart button, it will be basically adding that product into the cart of that user, right? So that is the main flow, but then there are some side flows as well which will be fulfilled by the hooks concept. So in this flow I will show you how the hooks come into the picture. So I will be clicking on to the add to cart, then the hooks concept will come into the picture automatically. So you can see now the PDP page is getting loaded, and now if I click on add to back button, so guys you can see I'm clicking on to the add to back button, and as soon as I have clicked on add to back button, you can see the flow has reached to the add to cart controller.java. So this is the landing method, and if I press F8, you can see now the flow has reached out to this line. Right here I am making a call to the facade layer, and in the facade layer I have written this method add to cart. Right here basically I will be adding this product, right, the product with the code 29533, right, with the quantity value as 1 into the existing cart, right? So if I go into the facade layer, so you can see now I am into the facade layer, and this is the add to cart API. Right now here it is calling another add to cart method. If I go inside this add to cart method, you can see now I am into this line. Right here you can see guys, we are calling commerce cart service, which will be basically adding this item into the cart, right? So if I go inside this, you can see the flow is coming over here. If I go next, you can see it is calling the super method. Right now you can see the flow has come to the add to cart strategy.java, which is written into the commerce services extension. Please remember this extension name, services extension name. We will be then seeing in the later part of this video that we usually define the hooks concept either in the facade layer or in the service layer. Right now guys, here the actual thing comes into the picture. At this place you can see we have these two method, and this is out of box flow, this is not my customized flow. At this place guys, we have one method after add to cart, right? And in this method we will be writing another method which is before add to cart, right? So if I go inside this, you will see that there will be a method written as before add to cart, right? If I go inside this before add to cart method, so you can see now it is calling the multiple hooks, right? In this method before add to cart, we will be now going into the multiple hooks, right? And those hooks are created for different purposes. Now you can see as soon as I press F8, right, as soon as I press F8, flow is going into the bundle add to cart method hook.java, and here we have written a complete logic to handle the flow of bundle products, how the bundle products will be handled into the add to cart flow. Then this hook comes into the picture. So you can go through this logic by yourself, but this is how the hook is automatically being called. So now you can understand, you should have a brief glimpse of the hooks concept, right? We have the parent add to cart flow, where the purpose is that we want to add the product into the cart, right? But then if we want to do some other action as well in between, for example to handle the bundle product flow, right? So if I have to do any other action as well in between, I will create a right hook for that. Instead of changing the parent flow, I will create a hook to make my code cleaner and make my code smarter. I hope now you have a glimpse, right? What is hook, why we use the hooks concept. We will discuss this in detail sometime, but I hope till this point it is clear to you. So you can see this hook is called, but with the one parent flow, does this mean that only one hook will be called? Answer is no. We can plug in n number of hooks depending on our requirement, and we can plug in n number of hooks at dynamic basis as well. For example, tomorrow if I have another requirement, I can create a new hook as well, right, for fulfilling that new requirement. If you can see, guys, now if I press F8, you can see the flow has again come back to the strategy class, and then it will call a new hook instead, right? Previously the hook name was bundle add to cart method hook. Now you can see it has come into the another hook, which is bundle selection criteria add to cart method hook, right? So this is another hook, right, which has another logic written in it. So you can go through this hook and you can see what is the logic written inside it. But the gist is that there is a parent flow, right, which is for a particular purpose. Like in our case, parent flow is for adding the product into the cart. But if you want to do some other work as well, or if you want to process some other logic as well, for that you can create your own hook, right? So with this you are not interfering into the parent flow. Now you can see if I press F8, right, it is again coming into the strategy class, and then now it has called another hook, right? So this means with one parent flow, I can plug in n number of hooks as well. How I can plug in n number of hooks, what type of configuration I have to do, and how to create these hooks, I will explain you everything from the scratch in this video. But this is how hooks come into the picture, how the hooks look like, and what is the benefit of using hook. I have explained you a brief about these hooks mechanism. We will discuss this in detail in some time, but I hope now you have a brief understanding about the hooks and its use as well. If we want to implement a logic before the execution of the parent flow or after the execution of the parent flow, we can do this by using the hooks concept. I hope it is clear to you. Now you can see in this flow, I told you, right, this was the before add to cart flow. Now it is after add to cart flow, and in this after add to cart flow as well, you will see that we have written multiple hooks. If I go inside this, right, this is the method after add to cart, right? Here also you can see the hooks concept is coming into the picture, and we will be calling multiple hooks. How we are calling these hooks, how we have configured or written these hooks, I will be explaining you everything in some time. But the gist of hooks concept is that in the parent flow, before the execution of the parent flow also, you can configure and plug in n number of hooks, right, for fulfilling the n number of logics, right? And similarly, after the execution of the parent flow, in this case parent flow is adding the product into the cart. After the execution of the parent flow also, you can configure n number of hooks for fulfilling the n number of logics which you want to perform along with the parent flow. I hope it is clear to you. In the later part of this video, guys, I will even customize this flow, which means we saw that in this before add to cart and after add to cart, there were n number of hooks, right? So in the later part of this video, I will even inject my own custom hook as well. Along with all these out of box hooks, I will inject my own custom hook as well, and it will give you even more good clarity how you can create and how you can plug in those custom created hooks along with the parent flow in the out of box code also. So it's a really good concept, and it can be used if you want to influence the parent out of box written code flow. Now you can see, guys, product has been added into the cart, and now you are well aware that with this addition of product into the cart, there were n number of subflows also which were working in the shape of hooks concept. So I hope the demo of the hooks concept was quite interesting and quite informative for you. Now, since you have seen the demo of the hooks concept, next part is what are hooks in SAP Hybris. Here we will be writing the definition of hooks concept in SAP Hybris, because you already have a brief glimpse about the hooks, what are hooks and what are the uses of the hooks. So if you can see, this is the definition of hooks. A hook in SAP Hybris is a flexible mechanism that allows the developer to inject the custom logic right before or after the execution of a core business process or service method without modifying the original code. Like in our previous scenario as well, when I showed you the demo of add to cart flow, right? The parent flow was add the item into the cart, but then for executing the custom logic, right, for handling the bundle product concept, right, we had written a separate hook for that. Similarly, tomorrow if you want to, send email to the owner as well, that once a product is added into the cart, if you want to send an email to someone that product has been added into the cart, for such type of logic also you can write your own custom hook, and you can plug in that custom hook into the parent flow along with other hooks that we will in fact show you as well in the later part of the video, that how you can create such type of customized hook and how you can integrate such type of customized hook along with the parent flow, right? So I can say this means if Hybris is saving a cart or placing order or creating a customer, we can hook into that process and we can say, hey, also send an email, right? So for sending an email we can create an hook, or for validating the data as well I can create an hook, or if you want to call a third party system in between this parent flow, you can create a hook for that requirement. And as I already told you, with one parent flow, you can have multiple hooks, right, for different logic execution. So it is basically modular and it provides a clean code execution approach. I hope now it is crystal clear to you what are hooks, what are the benefits of hooks, right? Now the next part is diagram and practical explanation. I have already shown you how the hooks work, right? Although I have not shown you yet how we can configure and how we can create the hooks from the scratch, but still you know the flow now, right? So let's see the same flow in a diagram representation. Also, if you can see, when I clicked on add to cart, from the front end request went into the controller, right? Then from the controller request went into the facade. Now in the facade we were doing add to cart, so there were two methods, before add to cart and after add to cart. So before add to cart method was called before we were adding the product into the cart, and after add to cart method was called after we added the product into the cart. And before add to cart method we were, integrating multiple hooks, right? Let's say two hooks. So this means how the flow was working. So flow was working like this: from the front end request went into the controller, from facade request went into the first hook, and then request went into the second hook, data was saved into the database, then again two hooks were called. I hope it is clear to you how the hooks flow works. Now let's jump into the part 4, which is overview of the out of box hooks in SAP Hybris. Although I already showed you some of the out of box hooks, right, while showing you the demo of add to cart flow, but are those the only hooks which are given to us by the Hybris and out of box code? Answer is no. There are lot of other hooks as well which is created by the SAP Hybris for executing different business logic. So if I can go into my code and if I search with the term hook.java, you will find. Now in the part 5, since you already have enough information about the hooks, what are hooks, right, and what is the use of hook in which layer, we already saw that in facade layer or in the service layer we called the hooks, right? And we have already created one video on interceptor. There we have already seen that what are interceptors, what are the use of the interceptors, and what are different 5 type of interceptors: init default interceptor, prepare interceptor, validate interceptor, and the load interceptor. We have already seen all these interceptor concepts, and we already know that interceptors basically gets applied into the model object either during the creation of the model object or before or after the save of the model object. But interceptor concept comes into the picture during the life cycle of the model object, right? And we have also created a video onto the filter concept. There we saw that filters are basically called, before the request land into the controller class. So we already know about all these three concepts, but let's see together what are the differences between the hooks, interceptors, and filters. Now, the final part of this video is the actual implementation, and we will be doing two type of implementation. Firstly, what we will do, we will be injecting a custom created hook into an existing flow dynamically. Here, what is my requirement? The requirement is that I have already add to cart flow, right? So in the add to cart flow, before adding the item into the cart, we saw that there are already multiple hooks come into the picture, right? Similarly, after adding the item into the cart as well, multiple hooks comes into the picture. We saw two methods, before add to cart and after add to cart. Now my requirement is, even during the before add to cart, when multiple out of box hooks were being called, I will create a new hook, right? And I will be plugin that, or I will be integrating my newly created hook along with other custom hooks, so that before adding the item into the cart, along with the other custom hook, my hook will also start getting called. So guys, this is all about the hooks concept, and in this video we have discussed the hooks concept in detail. What are the hooks, where we use the hooks, why we use the hooks, what are the various types of the hooks, how we can create a custom hook, and how we can plug in the custom hook into the out of box flow, right, along with the already created out of box hooks. And then we also saw that how we can plug in the newly created custom hook into a newly created custom registration flow as well. So this was a detailed video about the hooks, and I'm sure after you watch this video you will be able to complete any assignment related to the hooks concept in your project work also. I hope this video was quite informative for you and will be useful for you. And if you like this video, please share this channel with your friends. Thank you for watching. Bye.